Well, here we are back live in the Shanghai Grand Hall, sharing this next match that we're going to be showing you with the audience here, and there'll be a lot of them in, because we are once again bringing you Ronnie O'Sullivan, who plays for a place in tomorrow's quarters against Joe Perry, and that match that you saw at the bottom of the draw. And I can just hear the Master of Ceremonies, or should that be Mistress of Ceremonies? I can hear the lady's voice. They're just explaining to everybody just what's happening prior to the introduction of the players, who have met 5 times previously. Ronnie has a 4-1 head-to-head advantage over Joe Perry. In fact, they played twice last season, or earlier this year if you like. Once was in the Premier League. Joe Perry had his only win over Ronnie in that one. Beat Ronnie 4-2. But their most recent meeting actually was the Northern Ireland Trophy just a few weeks back, round 3, and Ronnie beat Joe by 5 frames to 3. Whether you can read anything into previous confrontations or not, well, that's for you to decide. Hello, somebody's been doing some power shopping there, I see. Hope you got something nice. Well, they're pouring in here at the Shanghai Grand Hall. It's a large arena, actually. When we get down to the one table for the semi-finals and the final on Saturday and Sunday, you'll appreciate if you get a broad view of the whole arena, just how big a place this is. It's where we held this tournament for the first time last year, when Dominic Dale was the somewhat surprise winner, some might say. Anyway, he was beaten in the first round this time by the resurgent Steve Davis. So Steve's had 2 very good wins already this week against Dominic 5-4, and then, as I explained to you just a little earlier, against Dave Harold by the same scoreline. Well, still they're coming in. They're a little bit late, but then you see that's because the Steve Davis-Dave Harold match went on for so long that we've had to delay the start of this evening session here as a consequence. Gives us a chance actually to have a little look at the provisional rankings, and Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's the reigning one and officially, is still clearly at number 1. Remember, he started the season off by winning the Northern Ireland Trophy to extend his lead. No change, in fact, in the top 4. Stephen Maguire, Sean Murphy and Mark Selby, the next 3 behind Ronnie. And we've just picked out Ronnie and Joe in the different colours you can see, because they're the 2 whom we're going to be watching this afternoon. A nice movement for Ryan Day, though. This is very provisional, of course, now you understand, but these are always confirmed at the end of each ranking event. Ryan Day, who really is a young man in form, up from his official ranking 8 to number 5 now, and Ali Carter still on the up as well. But look at Marco Fu, and this will be great news for the Chinese, because whilst he actually comes from Hong Kong, you've got to remember that Hong Kong was given back to the Chinese in 1997. So he's a Chinese player, really, and they'll all be claiming him now that Ding Junhui and Liang Wenbo are both out of the tournament. Marco Fu having qualified earlier today, this afternoon, by beating Andy Hicks 5-2. So there's the top 8, looking a little bit further down, and concerns for 1 or 2 players. John Higgins down to number 9, although he is still in this tournament. He faces a match against Ryan Day. Good to see Mark Williams bouncing back a little. He's officially number 22, of course, but provisionally he's back up to number 10. He faces Jamie Cope this evening for a place in the quarter-finals. Mark Allen is up to number 12 from his official number 16. And Dave Harold, what a fantastic few weeks he's had. He got to the final of the Northern Ireland Trophy, and, well, he was in this tournament until about an hour ago, less than an hour ago. Sadly, he's been dumped out by Steve Davis, but provisionally he has now overtaken Ding Junhui, and he's gone up to number 13 on the provisional list, and Ding in danger, if he doesn't watch it, of dropping out of the top 16. Only Stuart Bingham and Barry Hawkins below him in the 16 on provisional, remember. Your official ranking, for instance, John Higgins is number 5 at the top there. That's with you for the whole of the season. You are number 5 officially for the whole of the season, but These provisionals are based on the updated points gained from ranking events as the season has gone on. Well, we're still a few minutes short of actually seeing the introduction of the players as the organisers allow more people to come in. So we'll take another quick short commercial break. Don't go away.
That's it. Valentino Rossi, the Doctor, is 8th time world champion. He's the king of two wheels. Now the young guns Danny Pedrosa and Casey Stoner can only drive for the podium. MotoGP from Phillip Island, with practice Friday at 5:45 and the GP race Sunday at 6:15, live on Eurosport.
Suzuki, way of life.
Right, here we are back again at the Shanghai Grand Hall for this evening's session. Remember, here in Shanghai we are some 7 hours ahead of British summertime. Now pay attention, everyone out there. I hope you're paying close attention to all of this. Did you get that? He was introducing the referees, Brendan Moore and Terry Camilleri. I'm sure you knew. There's Brendan, who is in charge of our main match that we're covering this evening, Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Joe Perry.
3号球台，瑞恩德伊对阵约翰希金斯。
Brendan's been on the circuit now, full-time, 3 or 4 years, and highly respected he is by everyone within the game. Well, pretty well, a packed house here. There always is when Ronnie O'Sullivan's playing. And here's Joe Perry coming out now. Joe, officially number 12, but as you saw from those provisional rankings, up to number 7, the 34-year-old from Chatteris in Cambridgeshire. He'll relish this one, I tell you. It promises to be a great confrontation. But here's the man they all want to see. He really is a dynamic player. The reigning world champion, the world number 1, and getting a great reception here in the Shanghai Grand Hall. So, best of 9 for a place in tomorrow's quarterfinals. So here at the Shanghai Grand Hall, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan taking on Joe Perry. Ronnie, 32 years of age now, been a professional since 1992, and has won £5.75 million in prize money at the table. His opponent from Chatteris in Cambridgeshire, who turned pro in 1991, has not been quite as successful. £677,000 his career prize money there. And I will remember that tournament break that he got in the World Championship 3 years ago, that 145, because he took, well, it was a maximum except for having to take 1 blue instead of a black. But it won him the high break prize at the Crucible that year. Let's see whether we can see some high breaks in this match. Here we go then, Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Joe Perry. So we are a little late getting this match underway in view of the longevity of that previous match, Steve Davis versus Dave Harold. What a cracking match it was. I didn't see it personally, but I was keeping in touch with the scoreline, and when Dave Harold was leading 4-1, I thought, well, my goodness me, is Dave going to do it again? But Steve Davis has done it to him. So, as Joe Perry gets the first opportunity on the table, time to introduce another Joe. Joe Johnson. And, well, we started a little late, Joe, but I'm sure that once things get warmed up in this match, we could see 1 or 2 fireworks. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everybody. And that was a very careless break-off from Ronnie O'Sullivan. But as you said, a mouth-watering match to look forward to. And Joe Perry, straight away, knocked that long ball in, as though it had been played on the table half the morning. nicely on the black.
9.
And as you say, Mike, he'll be up for this one, Joe Perry. He's had a terrific season. Climb back into the top 16.
Yes, he's at his provisionally at number 7. That's the highest he's ever been in his career.
$17.
And that was an impressive win he had in the previous round against Matthew Stevens. Matthew fighting to get back into the 16, but he put pay to the Welshman 5-1.
Yes, we was talking about that earlier, wasn't we, Mike? The standard of play now is so good, and it goes back so far. You've got at least 50 people that could possibly be in the top 16, all fighting to get there. And once you're there,
25.
it's still just as difficult to stay there. Meanwhile, Joe Perry has played for one of the boat colours. Much easier to go into the pack from the yellow than the blue. Ooh, never touch me. Just didn't get enough into the white ball.
27.
He'll be disappointed there. He's missed the pack. Big target. Perfectly placed. So just a safety now. And that's an attacking safety shot. He hasn't got the white ball where he wanted it. Left a red over the left corner, one over the right corner. Slightly hampered with the one over the left corner. So, first potting chance for Ronnie O'Sullivan. In it goes.
1.
Just potted it a little thin, hence the cue ball just running on further than he anticipated, but still should pop the blue. Red over the left side pocket. But he's on the one next to the black as well.
6. 7.
And if he can, he'll be trying to go into the pack with that red over the left side pocket, left corner pocket. He'll be trying to leave an angle to be able to go into the pack with the insurance of that red over the left
14.
corner pocket.
15.
And that looks good. So even if he doesn't finish on a red, should have that one over the left corner.
I think Joey might have just stuck on that other red. Look at this.
Yes, didn't go into them with the power that I thought he would have done. And as you say, Mike, he's left it touching, so this red doesn't look to be on. Not often you see Ronnie O'Sullivan go into the pack of reds and not be on a ball.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
A little bit of a wasted opportunity there, I feel.
For sure. So one chance each. Both made 20 breaks. Both should have been more. Early days though. And that's a pretty good safety. Putting the red ball in baulk. Ronnie O'Sullivan can't play the white ball up there, and Joe Perry's got the cue ball close to the black cushion, so can't play the cue ball back to where it is. So created a slight problem for Ronnie O'Sullivan here. And that's a pretty good safety as well. Has left the red along the baulk cushion, but this is a tough one to pot and get out for a colour.
One.
Good pot though, nevertheless.
Joe Perry, 1.
Yes, nicely done.
Foul.
Well, found the pink.
Joe Perry, 6.
Good speed. I feel I'll be going back. So cue ball being replaced. Not really difficult
What the pink
to put this one back. It was behind the green.
Oh, I think Brendan's actually going to wait to see the still off the cameras.
Yes, it's just a little concern about where the pink was.
I thought the pink was actually on its spot, which is what Brendan's attempting to do now. Well, there's Aaron Williams, who is endeavouring to tell Brendan Moore just what he's seeing off the still image of the table before the foul shot was played. Now there you see it, the cue ball not quite where it was. There's the attempted escape, and that's what should have happened if all had gone to plan.
Yes, it does make a difference, because the pink, being in the position that it is allowing the white ball to hit the red just behind the pink.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Aaron is doing marking duties in this particular match, and there to assist the referee out at the table. The cue ball still not quite where it was before, but they all seem to be reasonably happy with things. So here we go, take 2, and that looks just about how it should have been according to Hawkeye.
Yes, and what a good shot that was. And look at the speed. Excellent shot. But has he left this red on? It's very close, this. Got to be careful he doesn't push it. Well, electing to play the safety. And the table seems to be running slightly quicker. Obviously worked on it overnight. needs to run on, and it has. Excellent safety. And now it's Joe Perry's turn to be in trouble. Worth another look. Didn't look as though it was going to get there, but just managed to creep in behind the green.
There's the proportion of the table that is covered.
Trying to land up to the two reds on the right side cushion, and once again this is all about speed.
Foul. And the miss.
Good attempt,
Ronnie
but it may have left this red on to the right corner.
Yes, Ronnie having a good look here before he decides which option to take. He can have the balls replaced, or of course if he sees one on, he can say thank you very much, I'll have a go at this, and that's what he's doing.
1.
Well, just pinched a little bit on the pocket with
6.
the blue, trying to create the angle for the cue ball to come down the table. I wanted to be closer to the reds than this. Well, Hawkeye couldn't have played that any better. Red only just went into the pocket. And now in ideal position, and should win this first frame from here.
40.
Yes, you somehow can't see him missing from this position, Joe, although it was your namesake, Joe Perry, who had the first opportunity in this opening frame.
Yes, and it's so important, isn't it, to keep that cue ball under control. Joe Perry played the white ball in a beautiful position to be on the yellow, giving himself good opportunity to go into the pack. Going at the pack from the widest option, and yet somehow managed to miss them. And you don't get many chances against this man.
$37.
So just this red and the colour.
38.
Yes, this will make it 36, the lead. With 35 on, and he's got a little bit too close to that red, but Joe is now in the snooker's required position.
44.
Yes, but would have liked to have finished the game off here, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Joe Perry is still in this game, just one snooker required. Seen many a frame, one from this position.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 40.
Well, that's worked out well. It's pushed the pink safe onto the cushion. Didn't intend to do that. Played to get the red where it is, and the cue ball in behind the black.
Foul.
Oh,
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
could be a free ball as well.
That's disastrous for Joe Perry.
Free ball.
Yes, you heard Brendan Moore declare the free ball because
Black ball.
the red can't be seen on both edges. So Ronnie nominating the black as an extra red.
1.
So that's 1, and now he pops it as a colour, going down for the last red. So Ronnie in complete control now of this opening frame.
8.
Yes, and I'm sure it's just courtesy
Ronnie
from Joe
O'Sullivan.
Perry.
8. And the first frame.
And the first frame. So Joe not having the best of fortunes there, and Ronnie taking advantage to take the opening frame of a possible 9 here in the Shanghai Grand Hall. Well, we'll head for a short commercial break with Ronnie O'Sullivan leading 1 frame to 0. We'll have frame 2 for you after this. So welcome back to the Shanghai Grand Hall here in China for more of this Shanghai Masters, and in particular this evening's match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Joe Perry for a place in the quarter-finals of this, the second ranking event of the season.
Yes, and an early mistake from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Didn't intend to cannon into the blue. But it's left Joe Perry with a couple of options. The easiest red is that one to the left corner, but the black not available to the right corner. So Joe may take the more difficult red to the right corner to stay on the black. Well, the pink does go into the centre. Can he hold it?
1.
Preferred to play for a baulk colour, or maybe even the blue. But look at the reds. Just needs to get on one here. Well, what a surprise. And I just get the feeling that Joe Perry hasn't settled as yet. Can't afford to dodge the shots against Ronnie O'Sullivan. And I feel that he should have taken the red to the right corner. That would have put him right on the black, in amongst the action.
One.
And this is the red. I thought Joe Perry would have played for.
7.
Wasn't anything wrong with the shot he played, because he still should have potted the brown.
8.
And look at that for a shot. Left-handed with run inside. It's come round perfectly for the black.
He's magic to watch, isn't he, when he starts playing like this, Joe?
Well, that was a tough shot to play with your normal hand.
Quite.
15.
I think actually he's come a little bit far for the red that he was playing on, the one just topside and to the right of the black.
Yes, played for the cannon to the red just directly above the black, which would have left him on choice of reds. And he's fortunate here to get through the gap to this red.
16.
Didn't play for that one, but now back in ideal position. And ideally would like to play for the red that's just to the right of the black.
$22.
Another surprising miss.
22.
So neither player really settled as yet. Both of them respecting each other's ability. Ronnie knows how well Joe Perry has played this last year.
1.
And obviously Joe Perry knows how good Ronnie O'Sullivan is.
8. 9. 15.
Once again. Wanted to be on that red just to the right of the black, and that would really open up the game. Now, depending on the angle here, may be able to run through, finish top side of the black.
23.
And that gives him the chance to play for this red. Back into the same pocket. Well, under hit that one by some distance as well, and this makes this pot a tough one. Nicely done, and back in ideal position, just 10 points in front. So at some stage gonna have to go into the cluster if he's going to win the frame at this visit.
$37. 38.
Has the angle here, and he's got the added insurance of that loose red. It would be on that red if he goes into the reds. Well, I'm surprised he didn't go into the reds there.
Yes, me too, Joe. I was fully expecting that.
45.
Now he's got to leave himself the right angle off the next black to dislodge them.
46.
There may be a red that goes into the left middle and even the right corner, but he's still going to need one of those three at least.
Yes, he's not had the best of fortunes.
53.
Well, I'm surprised that Joe Perry didn't go into the shot before with the added insurance of the red. And this is a tough one. Oh, excellent pot.
54.
That was the danger though, couldn't control the cue ball.
He deserved better luck on the black, didn't he? Let's have another look at this one. The acutest of angles for that red. Goodness me, no room for error whatsoever.
Pink ball.
Deserved a better fate. Well, he's nominated pink.
Yes, just to try and put the ball safe, I would imagine. Well, no attempt at putting a ball safe, and again I'm surprised at Joe Perry. The balls are all there. If Ronnie O'Sullivan can get in, surely it would have been much wiser just to play the pink onto the side cushion, let the cue ball go up towards Bork.
Well, that red there, it through the gap, is on.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan's going for it. And got it. Now, will he wish he'd have put the pink safe now?
And I rather suspect he will, because although there are still 25 points in it, suddenly you feel that Ronnie's gone favourite to take this one, Joe.
Absolutely, Mike. I know which place I'd rather be. I'd rather be 25 points down and in amongst the balls. Could be wise to play for the blue or brown here.
17.
Just come a little far for the blue.
Now, will that green actually spot? Ronnie's almost held the spot there. Brendan Moore just checking.
He needs it to spot. Didn't have the angle to pop
20.
the yellow and going down for the green on the pink spot.
22. 25.
Yes, and I just think that John Perry just made a couple of decision-making errors. Should have gone into the pack a couple of shots earlier than he did, and should have put the pink safe when he ran out of position. And he could pay the price for those bad decisions.
29.
Needs them all.
34.
Joe Perry could tie the frame if Ronnie O'Sullivan pots the pink and misses the black.
40.
Somehow can't see him doing that though.
Not now, Mike.
This for a 2-0 lead. And there it is, bang in the middle. Well, Ronnie made Joe pay there. A nice looking half century from the Cambridgeshire man, but it was not enough. Tactical errors, and Ronnie took advantage. So we head for another short commercial break, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is now leading Joe Perry by 2 frames to 0. Here we are once again at the Shanghai Grand Hall for more of the Shanghai Masters and the second round, with tomorrow's quarterfinals looming. Ronnie O'Sullivan leading Joe Perry here by 2 frames to 0. Joe here at the table. I can tell you that Mark Williams has taken an early 2-0 lead against Jamie Cope out on table number 4. And Ryan Day has taken the first against John Higgins. Stephen Maguire also in the lead, 1 frame to 0 against Stuart Bingham on the next table, table 2, just the other side of the partition. We'll keep you posted on those.
Well, that was a better safety shot than it looked. He knew he was getting close to that red on the left side cushion, but took the risk. Open the pack of reds, and that's a very good attacking safety from Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Joe Perry has to get this ball. And he has got it. And he's found the path. Needs a kiss. He's got it. Now then, Joe, you must make full advantage of this. Can't afford to go 3-0 down. Well, once again, that could have been a better positional shot.
5.
Got the line completely wrong, coming down the table for this red to the left corner. A shake of the head, and he hasn't settled yet, Joe Perry. He's just not thinking well. He's on this red to the left corner, but there's no guaranteed position now. Wanted to be straight on it, just to run through for the black. Good recovery.
6.
Didn't intend a cannon to the blue. This really was a good shot. Had it missed the blue, he would have been on one of the baulk colours nicely. Another big shot if he's taking this brown onto the right corner.
Yes, he's trying to pot his way out of trouble here, Joe.
Excellent pot. Now is he on a red? He's a little far for the 1,
10.
2 up from the black.
Nothing
It
there.
doesn't go, does it?
He's only got this one on the right hand cushion, and that's not easy.
Yes. As you say, Mike, he's trying to pot his way out of trouble. But once again, this isn't easy.
$11. Thank you.
Well, that was a better shot than it looked as well. Ideally, like to play the cannon to the red, just to the right of the black, above the black and to the right. Again, he's played it at such a pace. Thought it would have just dropped that one in. Dead weight.
18.
Leave the cue ball where the red was. And this time really is out of position.
Yes, he'd almost got himself back into pole position there, hadn't he? But he didn't get the cannon onto the other red right at all, and you heard the bang as the cue hit the ground. Frustration creeping in.
It's better than the knuckles though, Mike.
18.
How true.
Less painful.
Yes, Michael Holt would tell you all about that, wouldn't he?
Yes, just to inform the viewers that Michael Holt banged his knuckles on the table after one particular bad shot and broke them.
Yes.
And still doing it, by the way.
Does tend to wear his heart on his sleeve a little, Michael, but he'd be well advised not to take it out of the mahogany. You can't win.
Just shows you though what it means to these players. And once again, didn't catch that red right on the safety. Look where the cue ball is, in and out of baulk. So I caught them too thin. Another ball harder. That's a better speed. And that's given Ronnie something to think about. No easy path back to baulk. Just managed to dodge the red.
Not a bad kiss on the blue either, really.
Well, it's a bad kiss for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's left this red on now. And he may be able to get onto the black. Excellent pot.
1.
Took the decision to play back up towards Bork, and you can't blame him. Had he got onto the black, he would have been putting the black on the blue spot. So chance number 2 for Joe Perry.
Six.
That's a stretch. He must keep his foot in contact with the floor.
Full stretch.
Oh, well, that was, I think, purely, Joe, because he was overstretching there.
Yes, I agree. I agree. But he played the white ball into that position. He came round and had a look where he wanted it to be. No attempt at the pot.
No, I don't think he had the angle for the pot. The green was in the way. Just a safety shot. But he's left it out in the open.
Yes, but again, very dangerous pot to go for. Can't see a path through the pack to negotiate the white ball back towards Bork. And that's what you've got to do with Ronnie O'Sullivan. Keep him tight.
Where's that white going to finish up?
Foul.
There's your answer.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Yes, Joe Perry decided he didn't want to play the thick safety shot, which may have put reds over the left corner pocket. So just played the white into the jaws, which would have been a good shot had it stayed there. As it is. Ronnie's in again.
1.
And look at that, inch perfect on the blue.
Yes, and ideally that red next to the pink, if it goes, and obviously it does, that clears the pink spot area. How quickly his brain thinks
6.
of developing the game.
7.
And now got the game at his mercy. Doesn't have to play for the black now. Pink available.
13. 14.
Yes, and this game could very quickly be slipping away from Joe Perry. This is only the third frame of a possible 9, you know, but Ronnie is seizing on the opportunities which Joe is presenting to him.
$21.
Oh, has he come too far there?
27.
Played for the red just above the black. Played it left-handed, and he may just have. Well, he's having a good look. And disappointment is there. But it's time to accept it. If you can't pot it, play good safety.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 27. Hang on a second. I've got to get a warning for that one. If I win again, it's another percentage. Oh, okay. Hang on. Put on the sheet that I warned, Ronnie. Put on the sheet that I warned, Ronnie. Put it on the sheet that I warned, Ronnie.
An interesting little incident there, all of which we didn't quite see, but for some reason Brendan Moore has issued a warning to Ronnie for something. Now, Ronnie might have shown a little frustration on that previous occasion when he eventually had to settle for a safety shot, in which case, who knows what was said, we don't know, we didn't hear it all. But Brendan Moore, oh, so close. But Brendan clearly has issued a warning of some kind to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, and who knows how that could affect Ronnie O'Sullivan. Immediately caught that safety shot too thick. Pushed this red over the right corner.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Would you believe it?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, a miss is called, but you can bet your life it's not going back.
Quiet down, please.
Wow, I just wonder whether Joe's concentration was somehow affected by that little incident a moment or so ago, Joe. We can't tell from our commentary position, of course. Pure conjecture on my part.
Well, it was awkward cueing, that's for sure, and wanted to catch it thin to get the cue ball away from the pocket.
1.
Well, if Ronnie goes on to win this frame and take a 3-0 lead with one more before the mid-session interval, he would have to put that moment or two there down as one of the defining moments of the match.
$14. 15.
Well, once again, just slightly out of position.
Yes, clearly playing on the pink. But blue will do just as well.
Yes, excellent recovery. And can he reach this right-handed? He can.
20.
And another surprising miss.
Yes, well, I suspect, Joe, you might not agree with me here, but I think that Ronnie was just trying to put Brendan Moore under a little bit of pressure there. Since he got the warning, he's been down on the next red practically before Brendan Moore has replaced the colour, and I think that he was the architect of his own downfall in that particular instance.
1.
Well, got the red off the right side cushion, but not quite got the position on the pink. So good shot required. Good shot got, and a good kiss as well. Excellent kiss. Now, does he play for the black?
7.
Or for the pink? The black's a more difficult ball to get position on the next red. Needs to hold up. And played it very well indeed.
Well done, Joe Perry.
So now Joe, favourite for this frame.
15. 16. 22.
Yes, he's a little concerned here as to where the black's going to finish up after this shot.
23.
Well, that was another poor positional shot. Could have used the black, skewed the white ball out for the pink or blue, or even one of the baulk colours. But tried to play a delicate cannon, and now a snooker. Well, they don't get much more difficult than that. Answers on a postcard. How he's going to get out of this one. And how many cushions?
The jaws of the pocket, I suggest. There we go. Whoa! Well, not a bad idea.
Joe Perry 4.
But I doubt whether...
Well, has a miss been called? I don't think it has.
No, it hasn't, because Brendan Moore, in fairness, decided that that was such a difficult ask that the escape was worthy only of the 4-point penalty and not of the declared miss. And I think that was good refereeing, actually.
Well, maybe if he'd have left the yellow on, I could have agreed with that, but he got down pretty quickly, didn't give it much thought. And didn't really get anywhere near the yellow. It was only the jaws of the other pocket in the baulk area that took it in the vicinity of the yellow. But I'm sure he could have got nearer than that. There's been some strange decisions in this frame so far. And it's still going. Another careless safety. That yellow ball was always going towards the left corner, the way he played it. Lots of left hand side on the cue ball there to avoid the pink. And now left handed again.
5.
Played perfectly, inch perfect, left handed.
9.
Yes, and Joe did have his opportunities in this one, particularly after Ronnie missed that shot, that red, in his impatience to keep the game flowing and put pressure on Brendan Moore, I feel. But it hasn't cost Ronnie the frame. This pink for a 3-0 lead. There it is. Doesn't need the black. So, after a somewhat incident-packed frame there, with various things happening, including a warning to Ronnie, possibly for something that he said, and here they're just having a little bit of a discussion about it. Ronnie clearly not very happy with things.
Let's listen, Mike, and see.
Yes, it was clearly for something he said. I heard the word swearing being used there by Brendan Moore, so now we know. Still, we'll take a break. Ronnie leads 3-0. The Shanghai Grand Hall, the venue for this week's Roe Shanghai Masters, the second major tournament of this current snooker season. We're just awaiting Ronnie O'Sullivan returning to the arena to continue this match against Joe Perry. In frames, it's been quite one-sided, 3-0, but within that, Joe has had chances. He had a half-century in the second, and indeed had 2 opportunities, clear-cut opportunities, to win the last one. But it wasn't to be in a somewhat incident-packed match where Ronnie O'Sullivan was given a formal warning by the referee for what we now believe to be some form of bad language at some stage. Brendan Moore interrupted the game to go over and confirm with Aaron Williams, who's on marking duties in this particular match, that he had given Ronnie O'Sullivan a formal warning. Ronnie and he exchanged a few words at the end of the last frame. Ronnie clearly not very happy, but it's a done deal now, and Ronnie's just got to get on with it. Joe has to get back into this match pretty quickly. 3-0, one before the mid-session interval. He will not want to go in 4-0. But that will, of course, will be the ambition for Ronnie O'Sullivan here.
Fourth frame. Joe Perry to break.
So the break-off shot from Joe, and if that white bounces at all, then Ronnie has an opener.
Yes, the white ball just sufficiently close to the cushion, so Sullivan couldn't get his hand on the table. And who knows how it affects players, these kind of decisions. We shall see.
One.
And as you say, Mike, Joe Perry needs to get back into this game if he's to have any chance. Needs to win this frame. (3-1). Still has some kind of a chance.
Yes, remember it was Ronnie who halted Joe's progress in the Northern Ireland Trophy a few weeks ago in the second round.
$30. 14.
This is where, you know, you and I...
$21. 22.
Well, that's a better shot. That's opened a few reds.
$29. 30.
And now, ideal position. Doesn't have to go into the reds. There are reds available.
$37. 38.
Well, this is a little bit more like the Joe Perry we've come to know in recent times, but he still has
44.
work to do.
45.
Yes, and as you said at the start of this break, of this game,
50.
Mike, Ronnie O'Sullivan was in with the first shout, albeit it was a tough red, but didn't get anywhere near the pot which allowed Joe Perry in with this break.
Well, that's
that well.
not done badly at all, has it? The way they split, he's got choices. He's got a red into the corner here as we look at this again from our overhead camera. The white just running sufficiently far away from that red to enable him to go into the corner pocket with it. Slightly awkward king, but I don't see a problem for him just knocking this red in. Whilst he considers, I've just heard some dramatic news, by the way, from table 4 in the match between Mark Williams and Jamie Cope. They've just gone into their mid-session interval at 2-2, and Jamie Cope has had a 1-4-7 maximum against Mark Williams.
Yes, was 2-0 down in that match as well, Mike.
He's done well, hasn't he? That's his second maximum in tournament play. His first one was a couple of years ago against Michael Holt in the 2006 Grand Prix.
Yes, some player.
Well, that's put him in with one hand on the £20,000 bonus, provided nobody else gets one, of course. And we saw the prize being shared in the World Championship, did we not?
Yes, it's only a matter of time, isn't it, till one player makes two.
I think
that's two.
That's the next sort of milestone in the history of maximums, isn't it? We've had two in the same tournament, twice actually, twice.
Meanwhile, just came a little further down onto the black there than I would have liked. 73 in the game, so in effect that was game ball. Now we'll see what Ronnie O'Sullivan's mindset's like here. Just needs a couple of snookers. Will he carry on?
Joe Perry, 73 and the French.
No, he won't is the answer. 73 for Joe, and Ronnie says no, not interested. He wants his cup of tea. So Joe gets the one that he desperately needed this side of the mid-session interval, thanks to that 73. He's still in with a shout, although you've got to say that Ronnie still remains the hot favourite as they go in at 3 frames to 1. Don't forget, Jamie Cope's had a 1-4-7. We'll be back with more of Ronnie and Joe very soon. Here we are, folks, back at the Shanghai Grand Hall for this Roe Shanghai Masters Snooker, and Messrs O'Sullivan and Perry back in action here on the main match table as Joe Perry attempts to get back into this match. It was 3-0 at one stage. He had a nice 73 in the 4th frame to eventually take that one and thus go in 3-1 down, but this is still a big frame for him. 4-1, and it's an awfully difficult task for him, although we saw Steve Davis do exactly that in his match against Dave Harold earlier today when he came back from 4-1 to win 5-4, so it can be done. In case you just switched on, let me remind you, Jamie Cope has had a 1-4-7, the second of his career, against Mark Williams. They're 2-2 at the mid-session interval, so the £20,000 first prize is going to be won. In the meantime, 2-2 that one at the mid-session interval. In the meantime, Ryan Day is leading John Higgins by 3 frames to 1. There's an interesting scoreline. I'm just pausing whilst Joe plays that shot. Yes, Ryan had a very good victory yesterday against Liang Wenbo last night, 5 frames to 0, whitewashing the Chinese player. And now threatening to put John Higgins out. 3-1 mid-session interval there. Joe attempting to break the pack. Now, has he been lucky? Oh, he's just put that red back into the pack. But he has got
70.
an outside chance of the red into the right middle. I'm not sure whether he'll take it. Black's tied up. Can he get on the pink is the question.
Yes, it was a little careless there, Joe. Didn't come the right side of the blue to be able to go into them the orthodox way. Had to play it with a lot of left hand side in and out of balk, and although he did go into them, as you can see, didn't finish on anything easy. But what a good recovery shot that was. Excellent shot, and this time does have the angle to go into the reds. Just coming out to have a look to see where he wants to go into them. That suggests the gap between the two at the top. Trying to get through that gap. Didn't quite get there.
No, you were right there, Joe. It had to be right in the middle, really, to split them to the left and to the right. But in fact, he hit one of them. Watch this again. He hit the left one pretty well full on, which is what he didn't want to do. Now, has he been lucky, Joe? Awkward queuing, but I think there might be a red onto this left corner.
Well, there is a red onto the left corner, you're quite correct. And it may be well worth playing it because the cue ball will be going up towards Bork. Could play it as a shot to nothing. No, not interested. Can't blame him. It's 3-1 down. Doesn't want to take too many risks.
Joe Perry, 23.
Incidentally, one other match I haven't given you a score on. They're playing rather slowly by comparison with the others. Stephen Maguire 1, Stuart Bingham 1. Bingham put out Peter Ebdon yesterday, 5 frames to 3.
Yes, and a very good safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Pace judged to perfection, and a nice tap on the table. Good sportsman, Joe Perry. Difficult to get safe here. The 2 reds by the left side cushion, stopping the safety shot from the pack of reds. This is what he's faced with. Can see the right side of the pack. But if he should play that shot, well, elected to come off the side cushion and just land up into them.
Foul.
Did it reach?
Yes.
It didn't. Miscalled.
27-4.
Oh, surely that's got to go back. Yes. It was only the width of a cigarette paper away, though, wasn't it, Joe? It was very close.
Yes, clever shot from Joe Perry, though.
Right.
Just to come off the side cushion and land into them. Has to hit them this time, otherwise he will be warned. Well, he's come down the other side and he's missed them again.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, this is very interesting now.
Now, could he hit one full ball?
I don't think he could, Joe. I heard what you said about the 3 strikes and you're out, of course. We know about the rule, but I'm not so sure that he can see a full ball direct. Let's have another look at this. If he can, then, of course, you're right. He'll get the warning. It's very close.
Doesn't look like he can. Let's see what Hawkeye makes of it.
Well, I did hear the warning, Joe, so presumably Brendan Moore has decided that Joe Perry can see a full ball.
Yeah.
And in those circumstances, then, if you miss 3 times, no matter which ball you're aiming for, if there is a full ball on, then you have to be warned that you will lose the frame if you don't make contact the 3rd time. Ronnie O'Sullivan's not terribly worried, of course. He would be quite pleased to take the frame, but not that way, surely.
Yes, well, let's hope he doesn't miscue.
It happened to Steve Davis. I think it was in the Irish Masters a few years ago. And Steve conceded a frame in those circumstances. Yeah, he's got to hit a red somehow, and that's why he's not risking the previous shot. He's thinking of an alternative now. But of course, any alternative might well leave Ronnie in with a shout of establishing another break. Referee Brendan Moore, the man in charge, he's already had words with Ronnie O'Sullivan about something that was said earlier in the match.
Well managed to avoid the two reds on the side cushion, and a tap on the table from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Appreciating that shot. And another very good safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. And he's back in trouble again, Joe Perry. Can only see the left side of the red, so no natural path back to baulk for him. Lots to think about here. If you can land up to the red just behind the black spot, that's an option. Not easy, mind. Well, went for the pot.
I'm a little fortunate in as much as I don't think that red will go past the black.
He's queuing up as though it goes.
He is too. Well, attempting to play the snooker behind the pink, not been wholly successful, but safe enough given where the black is.
Once again, that was a very delicate shot he attempted there, left-handed.
Thanks.
Well, that's changed the nature of this frame just a little, Joe, with that black being there over the corner pocket. Neither player will want to take anything on here unless it's absolutely 100% certain. Oh. Ooh, always the chance that that red could have knocked the black in.
Yes, now can he get to this red?
From that side of the table, I would think yes. If it's just off the cushion, then it's cuttable.
Well, not interested. And this has to be right. The double kiss is on.
Well, Joe's succeeded in covering the left-hand side of the table as we look at the reds, and that's made it more difficult for Ronnie to find the orthodox way around the table and back again for safety. Meantime, I've just heard that Mark Williams has gone 3-2 ahead of Mr. Maximum Man, Jamie Cope, out on table 4, 3-2 after it was 2-2 at the mid-session interval, thanks to that maximum from Jamie Cope. Oh, well, that black is there to be knocked in. They've got to be careful.
Another excellent speed on the white ball, though, from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Now, can he get this red to the right corner?
Yes, that's the one I was looking at, Joe. I think it might just go.
It's a long way between the balls, though. That's an easy shot, even if it does go.
Again, not interested, or perhaps it doesn't go. We can't see from this camera angle.
Well, I would suggest it doesn't go, otherwise he wouldn't have played that shot. But he may have left the other one on to the left corner. And you just come down to have a look to see what he would be leaving if he takes the red on. Came right across the ball there.
Played it with an element of safety though, screwing the white ball back to the other half of the table.
Yes, rather fortunate to land up behind the blue.
Very quickly, whilst Joe contemplates, John Higgins has pulled one back against Ryan Day from 3-1. He still trails, but now 3 frames to 2 against the young Welshman. Now then, has Joe spotted one that will go here? Yes, indeed.
Where did he find that one from? Didn't want the kiss.
Well,
would have been nicely on the yellow.
Yes, he will be on the yellow in a moment, won't he? Hopefully for him, glued to it.
Yes, would have been preferred to have been potting the yellow, coming down
Joe Perry 1.
and clearing the table. But that's second prize. It was a good pot.
Through the gap. No, he's been fortunate.
Well, it was a good shot. Excellent shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. But he's going to find himself back up there. Well, the red goes into the centre. And another chance for Joe Perry.
That was a good shot, Joe.
Black.
Yes, he could count himself unlucky there, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And the black's available.
Well, that's opened up things nicely, because although the black has to go down on the pink spot, I think, Joe, that the pink will go into the right corner past that red.
Yes, the ball's nicely positioned now. And this really is a good chance for Joe Perry.
9.
And more news of that somewhat protracted match over on table 2. Stephen Maguire now leading Stuart Bingham by 2 frames to 1.
17.
So they've not yet reached their mid-session interval. Could be a long night.
$24. 25.
Yes, it's been a pretty good frame, this frame so far. Some very good safety play from both players.
32. 33.
But Joe Perry approaching the winning line.
Yes, and at 3 frames to 2, of course, right back in the match. From 3-0, he'll feel a lot happier. Not quite there yet, but those reds nicely lined up into the left corner after this one.
Well, this, in effect, is frame ball.
41.
Well, the black will be. So, it's looking like 3-2.
$48.
Oh, well, that should make stone cold certain now. I was going to say, if he'd missed that, Ronnie would have probably come to the table, I think, with 2 snookers needed. Or would he? You sometimes don't know with Ronnie.
Well, didn't do at the interval, did he?
No, he didn't. That's very true.
55.
But anyway, certainly he's not going to come back this time because Joe's still going.
56.
And this is Joe's 3rd half century in the last 4 frames. In the 2nd frame, when he got that half century, he still lost that one.
63.
But this is better stuff now from Joe's cue. 73 before the interval. This one, and still counting here.
4. $71. 72.
Nicely played. And a nice angle on the black to get up for the yellow. No reason now why he shouldn't make a century. Except for the snooker.
Has he just gone enough? I think he
79.
has. Well, the crowd tell you that he's just found the gap nicely. You heard the
81.
applause there. So every chance now of a 3-figure contribution. And Ronnie was 3-0 ahead, sailing along. He's had that little difference of opinion with Brendan Moore earlier.
84.
Has it just unsettled him a little? It's certainly not done Joe, with hindsight now I can say, too much harm, although I wondered whether it might earlier.
88. 93.
Well, come on, Joe. Let's see a century.
99. 106.
Nicely done, Joe. A 106 clearance from the Cambridgeshire man to pull back another one. A 73 in the previous helped him, and from 3-0 down, he's right back in this match as we head for another short break. He now trails Ronnie O'Sullivan by 1 frame only at 3 frames to 2. Frame 6 of a possible 9 just underway here in Shanghai, as we see Ronnie O'Sullivan missing an early attempt at a red, leading Joe Perry by 3 frames to 2. This for a place in the quarterfinals, the last 8 of this Roe Shanghai Masters here in Shanghai. 4 men already through: Steve Davis and Ricky Walden, and Mark Selby and Marco Fu. Those matches played earlier this afternoon. 2 more seeds going out there: Neil Robertson at the hands of Ricky Walden, and Mark King. Well, there had to be a seed out there. He was playing Mark Selby.
Didn't get close to that one, did he? And look at the reds.
The only consolation is the white being tight on the cushion. But Ronnie's very good at just knocking these in across the table, isn't he? Even when the white's tight like that.
Yeah, but can he hold for the black or pink?
1.
Just.
There's your answer.
Now, what kind of response has Ronnie O'Sullivan got
7.
to the breaks of Joe Perry in the last 2 frames?
8. 15. 60.
60.
23. $24.
Yeah, has the angle yet to go into those reds if he so wishes.
$31. $32.
Now, anything?
Questionable.
39.
Doesn't appear to be.
There might be one to the right centre, actually. Yes, he spotted it.
Yeah, it's not easy though.
No, it wasn't.
Very difficult
39.
shot, and seemed to play it rather quickly for my money. And where's the red going? Not too bad. It is potable, but it's a tough pot.
Yes, and there's another very tough one across the table to the left centre as well. Very tough indeed, so Ronnie not interested in either of them.
Sounded like a kick.
Yes, you can sometimes hear, can't you, the sound telling you that that's not been a clean contact, and that did sound a little bit odd. I think you were right, Joe. But Joe's not asked to have the cue ball cleaned.
Yes, just looking at this red over the left centre, it must be closer to the cushion than what we're seeing on the television monitor. It looks quite easy from our position, but I can assure you it mustn't be, otherwise you would have been down on the shot and potting it. So just a safety. Well, there may just be a shot to nothing on the red behind the pink spot. All depends if you can miss the red that's on the black cushion. Just the safety. And not quite covered the reds. And caught that one too thick. And again, being rather fortunate. It's got the hamper by the green. The one closest to the right corner. Tough shot. But a terrific pot. But having taken the red on, I would have thought he'd have played for the black. Difficult to get out for the blue. Nevertheless, it was a good pot. It's given him control of the game.
Joe Perry, 1.
And that's That's a very good safety shot off the pink. I think he might have just got both sides of the extreme left and right covered here. Ronnie having to come down the middle. Well done. Well, he negotiated that very well.
Yes, his safety play has been very good today, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Of course, Joe Perry's is always good safety.
Yes, I remember remarking on at least one occasion in Ronnie's last match against Stuart Pettenham.
It's amazing, isn't it, Mike?
Look at that.
I just said his safety play is very good,
yeah,
and then makes a mess.
Well, I was just saying that in his match against Stuart Pettenham, he played one or two like that were loose.
One.
And I remember commenting that he would have to tighten up his safety very much in his next match, which of course is this one.
Yes, just been praising Joe Perry for his safety, and then all of a sudden hits one miles too thin and lets Ronnie O'Sullivan in, and he's already 45 points in front now.
7. Eight.
And that was a delicate positional shot as well, finding the gap between the two reds to finish nice on the pink.
More news from that Mark Williams-Jamie Cope match. Jamie Cope may have had a 1-4-7, but he could lose the match. Mark Williams has gone 4-2 ahead there.
15.
Yes, he started to play a bit again, Mark Williams.
Yes, provisionally back in the 16, although his ranking remains officially number 22 for the whole of the season, of course.
Yes, didn't qualify for the Scottish though. Lost to my friend and fellow Bradfordian, Simon Bedford.
Yes, that was a terrific result for Simon.
Yes, I was talking to him and he said he played exceptionally well, and so did Mark Williams. I wish him all the best.
29.
Another player that's very, very good player, trying to break through.
Snooker's required then for Joe Perry, but I fear we won't be seeing any of him in this frame. It's going to be 4-2 to the world champion and world number 1.
5. 36. $42. 43.
And we're about to see Ronnie O'Sullivan's first half-century of the match.
Just.
Well, only just. Not often we have to wait for the 6th frame, though.
50. 51.
Clever little shot that was.
57. 58.
Well, 58, that will do the foul academic at that stage. So Ronnie has reasserted his authority on this match now and gone within one frame, I should say, of a place in the quarter-finals tomorrow. 58 break, taking him to a 4-2 lead over Joe Perry. Frame 7 of a possible 9 underway here in Shanghai in this second round match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Joe Perry. This is Joe Perry at the table, having pulled back from 3-0 to 3-2 back into the match, only to see Ronnie fire in a half-century to put himself within a frame of victory. So a tough task, you have to say, for Joe, and especially so if Ronnie gets reds like that.
Excellent pot. Well worth taking on, because it freed the black as well. Now, does he go into the pack? Tough shot. Didn't need to. Still has the red over the right corner.
8. Nine.
Well, that's incredible.
I thought he'd go for the green, come back offside cushion into the pack, but there you go.
It sounded like a kick. In fact, where the white ball's finished, you would have thought that Ronnie O'Sullivan could play a better position than that one. But once again, Joe Perry not having a white ball clean, so not sure. Nevertheless, he's pushed one over the right corner, and Ronnie can see this one.
One.
Only just went in again. Awkward queuing over the red if he decides to take the blue on. Which is why he's going for the yellow.
Foul.
Foul called.
Perry. Sorry, Ronnie O'Sullivan 1. Joe Perry 4.
I think he must have just brushed against one of those reds there, Joe. I'm not sure whether we'll get a chance to have another look at that. But Brendan Moore obviously seeing something that Ronnie shouldn't have been doing.
Yes, and immediately Ronnie O'Sullivan accepted it, went straight to his seat. Didn't ask the referee what he'd done. But how costly is that going to be? To make matters worse, he potted the yellow. Got good position.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24.
Well, that one just ran away slightly.
Now here we see that shot again. And it was the cue actually just nudging that red underneath him. On the replay from the overhead camera you clearly saw the red move, and Ronnie must have been aware of that.
Yes, which is why he got straight up and walked back to his seat. No arguments.
25.
In fact, I'm sure Ronnie O'Sullivan would have admitted to the foul had the referee not spotted it. Such a good sportsman, these snooker players.
But it was that foul
32.
which let Joe Perry in. Well, it proved to be a very costly foul.
33. $40. 41. $46. $47.
Just a little slow to be ideal. 41 points in front. Just has to think about this slightly. Could play the cannon to one of those reds. Could play the cannon to the pink. Got the cannon perfectly. And now back in ideal position.
54.
Yet another half century for Joe Perry. And this from that foul by Ronnie when he was leading 10 points to 4.
$55.
So just one more red required, and hasn't got on the red
62.
as well as what he would have liked.
$63.
No problem. And this knowledgeable crowd realising that was game ball.
$70.
Excellent pot.
71.
That was a cracker, wasn't it? I know the pressure's off, the frame's won, but even so, full marks for that one.
Now, chance to bring this red next to the pink into play. Needed to catch it. Half ball.
78.
Too much.
78 in the frame.
A good 78
Perfect.
though, and all that from Ronnie's foul when he nudged a red with the side of his cue when he was leading 10 points to 4. It's cost him that frame, and Joe Perry pulls another one back with that break of 78. So it's still very much game on here. At 3 frames to 0, we thought it might be a one-sided match this, but Ronnie O'Sullivan has seen Joe come right back into this. As we head for another short break, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan 4, Joe Perry 3. This is the Shanghai Grand Hall. That is Ronnie O'Sullivan in his second round match here in the Shanghai Masters against Joe Perry. He's just waiting for Joe to return to the arena. A possible 2 more frames here, and Ronnie sailing along quite nicely at 3-0, looked to be in control, but since then Joe Perry has fought back wonderfully well, and particularly in that last frame took advantage of a foul shot by Ronnie when Ronnie was actually leading 10 points to 4, and got a nice 78 to follow up his earlier breaks of 54, 73 and 106 in frame 5. And Joe's nipping at Ronnie's heels very much at the moment at 4 frames to 3. So a simple equation: Ronnie's still looking for 1 more. Joe on the other hand has to win the last 2. I can tell you that Mark Williams, despite watching his opponent Jamie Cope fire in a 147, he has beaten Jamie by 5 frames to 2.
Thank you. Frame 8. Joe Perry to break.
Come on, Joe, a shout from the audience in this Chinese venue. Well, now we know, of course, who the winner of this match will be playing. It will be Mark Williams in the bottom half of the draw. Mark now awaiting either Joe Perry or Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, so once again he's left this red ball on to the right corner. And once again Ronnie O'Sullivan has missed it. Went for it, full-blooded. No intentions of playing safe as well. And this has left Joe Perry with a half chance.
One.
Well, Pink.
No.
Pink not being able to spot.
No.
Joe asking him to check it.
Yes, he's quite entitled to do that, isn't he? But Brendan Moore insistent that it doesn't spot, and all the other spots are occupied, of course.
7.
And that's just spoilt things slightly for Joe Perry. That red would have gone into the right corner. The one that's next to the pink.
Eight.
And needed to leave an angle on the black to go into the reds, but this is a little more than he anticipated. Now, anything there? Ooh, and the pink just nearly went in the middle pocket. But it's been unfortunate there, Joe.
15.
Could have finished a lot better than that.
Watch the pink. Off the red and almost finding its way into the middle pocket. Ooh, that was close.
Looks like it went down the pocket and back out again then. Nevertheless, another tough pot for Joe Perry. That's the grip. Terrific pot.
16.
And there's no doubt about who's in the ascendancy here. Joe Perry has found his form. Once again, though, out of position.
Yes, I don't think there's anything there this time. Does that red go past the pink? Surely not, Joe.
Well, even if it does go past the pink, it's a very difficult pot. He's fouled. He's called a foul on himself.
Yes.
And what a great spot. And it's just what I was saying in the last frame. And I said Ronnie O'Sullivan would have probably called it on himself. And then you saw Joe Perry calling the foul. The referee didn't spot it. Terrific sportsman.
Yes, the irony is that that red actually went in, and it went in off the pink.
Well, that one was a long way away. Not often you see Ronnie O'Sullivan with the rest, being able to play both-handed.
1.
But no mean rest player either. Oh, what a terrific shot that was. Needed to be on a red though. It doesn't look like he's on one easy.
6.
Force the angle to get the white ball into the pack.
7.
Another terrific pot. Made it look easy. No applause, but that was a cracker. Played with a lot of screw and check side.
There's another left-hander from Ronnie.
Needs to slow up. That's okay. Would have liked to have been top side of the red to be able to pop the red open the pack and the pink over the middle.
10.
Well, I thought he'd be playing on the pink there as Joe sits waiting for his next opportunity.
Well, the blue would have been the ball to go into the pack of reds, and he's just a little short on pace. Much easier to go into the pack of reds from the blue than the pink, Mike.
True enough.
$16.
Has the angle here on the black though. All depends on how they split. He's on one. Could have been easier though.
23.
Oh,
Where's the red going? Oof! So close.
23.
wow. Not often you see Ronnie come across a shot like that, but that was fairly plain to see.
Well, didn't even get the red in the jaws of the pocket here. Have another look. Never touched the angles. Played it rather quickly.
Yes, he was just a little over-eager there, Joe. Over-eager to get this match over and done with.
Good pot.
Now then, Joe, here's a chance for you to make it 4 apiece.
Yes, well, can certainly put some mileage between him and Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he's going to need
8.
those 2 reds on the left side cushion if he's going to win this frame at this visit.
$9. $15. $16.
Now, does he have the angle here to run the white ball across? He has not. Well, would you believe it?
I can't
Joe
believe
Perry.
that.
16.
Concentrated on playing the cannon to the pink, which he did get, but missed the black. Now Ronnie got the same problem as Joe Perry had. Needs those 2 reds on the left side cushion.
Well, that was an attempt to develop them. He still
8.
has this one more loose one into the yellow pocket. But once again, he's got to think about nudging those reds away from the left-hand
9.
cushion.
Well, has a little angle on the blue. Try and bounce off the black cushion. Lots of right-hand side. Well, went directly at them.
Well, that was a little optimistic, I feel.
14.
Is it a double?
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 40.
Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan trying to win this frame as quickly as he can. That's not the correct way to do it. Got to be patient.
Shh, quiet down, please.
Feels to me as though he's lost all patience with this game somewhere along the line.
Yes, and he could still find himself on the wrong end of the scoreline at the end, particularly if Joe can carry on playing shots like that. Very good snooker. Well, I don't understand how he could possibly have got the right angle there to hit a red. I just don't honestly think that was a serious attempt to hit a red, Joe.
Well, I expected to put a lot more left-hand side on the cue ball. Put them back, please.
Yes, Brendan Moore was hoping that Joe would have an easy red on here, but no. Several balls moved then. I think the blue and the brown were both cannoned.
What was it?
I think it was on its spot, the brown.
It might well have been, but the blue also, I think,
was on its spot.
Yeah.
And this is where, once again, we might need the assistance of Aaron Williams, who's off camera doing the marking, and Aaron will be able to have the facility of the freeze frame of how the table was before the shot was played. There he is.
Turn it away.
We can't see it. Yeah, yellow's on its spot, red's in front, and brown's behind.
Left hand down a bit, fellas.
Stay okay?
This could take some time.
So,
Yes, the problem is that when looking at the monitor, it's the opposite way around. So Aaron Williams is telling him to move the red a little bit forward. Well, forward to him is the opposite way to the referee.
And Aaron not too keen to be on camera either. Should be used to that.
and yep, just off the cushion on the right. Okay, Joe?
Are we okay? Are we all agreed? Attempt number 2 then.
Well, that's again a bit careless from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Miss. Joe Perry 4.
Well, Joe might well take this red from where it is.
One.
So, another opportunity for Joe to take this into a 9th and deciding frame. Incidents of various kinds in this match. A warning for what we believe was bad language from Ronnie O'Sullivan. We await the press conference for confirmation of that. Twice, one player each has fouled in vital circumstances. And Aaron Williams' marker has been brought into action on a couple of occasions when balls have had to be replaced.
Well, I hope they're not discussing whether the red went before, and it does go now past the yellow, because it's too late to move the red now.
Yes, it is indeed. Once the next shot has been played, the balls can't be replaced again, and Brendan Moore waiting anxiously to see how.
He's potted the brown. Sorry, Joe.
And I would suggest the only thing that could save Ronnie O'Sullivan here is yellow to green.
6.
12 points in front. And by taking the brown, he's going to need the blue. Now, has this come straight? If it has, it's difficult to make the green easy.
Yes, a couple of good positional shots needed next for Joe Perry. 16 points to the good. Still needs, as you say, Joe, up to the brown.
Thank you.
Now, this is a key shot here.
Oh, now Where's the green going?
It's going to be stuck.
Where's the green going?
It's stuck up over the corner. Well, well, well. That could be the last shot that Joe plays in this tournament. So close to making it 4 apiece.
Yes, it was a bad positional shot, I'm afraid, from brown to yellow, which left him with a tough shot to get on the green.
2, 3.
Well, surprised. I thought it may have played the yellow. Nevertheless,
7.
it's going to be Ronnie O'Sullivan with these 3 balls.
Yes, it looks rather as if Ronnie has got out of jail here. At one stage, a moment or two ago, he looked as though he was facing a nervy 9th and final frame. But just now needs this
18.
black. Oh, well, that's not the best shot he's played. Now then,
Well,
pressure, pressure.
It just looks to me as though Ronnie is playing so nonchalantly.
That was a nonchalant final black. And it has given Ronnie O'Sullivan a victory which at one stage looked like a formality, but in the end was never thus. Joe Perry came right back into that match and indeed really should have made it 4 frames apiece. But as I say, Ronnie getting out of jail, he has beaten Joe Perry by 5 frames to 3. And we now know that in tomorrow's quarter-finals he will meet his fellow former world champion Mark Williams. Now, just a reminder that Mark Williams has beaten the 147 man Jamie Cope by 5 frames to 2, despite that maximum from Jamie. Mark Williams versus Ronnie O'Sullivan, hey? That promises to be a very interesting quarter-final tomorrow. We already also know that Steve Davis will meet Ricky Walden. Steve coming through from 4-1 behind to beat Dave Harold 5-4, and Ricky Walden defeating Neil Robertson 5-4. Mark Selby versus Marco Fu is another quarter-final already decided, so we've got some very tasty matches coming up for you tomorrow. Just a reminder that we are back on air early in Britain and Europe for the quarter-finals. 9:30 Central European time, 8:30 on British Eurosport, and I hope that you'll be able to join us then.